Monster Energy Pro Circuit Kawasaki has chosen Tai Masterpool over Drew Adams. Why is that? Welcome back to Vital MX. I'm your host, Michael Lindsay, and this week's topic we're covering is something that I've seen blow up a little bit on social media, a little bit of outrage at the moment, actually. It has to do with Monster Energy Pro Circuit's Kawasaki decision to move Tai Masterpool from the East region now over to the West Coast region and bypassing bringing Drew Adams Pro at the moment. And again, I've seen a bit of outrage on people's behalf being like, oh, the team is ruining Tai Masterpool's championship hopes. They're not doing what's best for his career, blah, 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 a few things of that nature. And honestly, yeah, at first glance, this may look like an odd decision, but there is a lot of logical reasons why the PC team is doing this. And we're going to get into that. So we're going to do this two-part. We're going to start with why Tai, and then secondly, why not Drew? So starting with why Tai Masterpool. So originally, the PC team this year is basically 5 full-time racers, and Drew Adams being kind of the backup fill-in guy at 6. Tai is one of those 5 full-time guys. So the coasts were originally supposed to be Garrett Marchbanks and Levi Kitchen on West, while Seth Hamaker, Cameron McAdoo, and Tai Masterpool would take on the East region. Now, if you missed it this weekend or the news surrounding it, Levi Kitchen did pull out of A1 due to illness. He rode the first free practice session and decided to call it. If you do that at the opening round, being A1, if you don't enter time qualifying and have a night show gate choice, you are able to declare and change your region because you have not started the racing portion of the event. So that's what Levi and the team decided to do. They felt like it was going to derail his championship hopes. He is clearly the strongest championship contender on that team. So they've now moved him to the East region, leaving only Garrett Marchbanks on the West Coast and putting PC at 4 riders free. So naturally, they need to make a change and get somebody else on West Coast to have better representation alongside Garrett. Also help out in case Garrett also to go down. They need bikes on the track. Everybody's natural default was, oh, it's going to be Drew Adams. Drew Adams even put out an Instagram post kind of teasing it, but the team decided instead to move Masterpool. And the reasons are very, very straightforward. One rider on West, 4 on East. 4 on East is huge logistically for a team, especially at that level between engines, mechanics, parts, everything. It takes a lot of burden off the team to move Tai back to West and make it 3 riders again on the East Coast. So that is big for the team from a logistical standpoint, from testing parts, so many things. It works better for them. Also, from an experience standpoint, and this gets back to the outrage. I see people posting, they're ruining Tai's title hopes. I do not mean this offensively in any shape or form. I feel like I always have to say that when you're saying anything that's critical of somebody. Tai is not a title contender in 2025. I'm sorry, he's not. 2-3 years ago, he wasn't making main events on a Bar X Suzuki 250. Yes, he's improved dramatically since then. Don't get me wrong, that's not my baseline for Tai. He has come a long ways in Supercross. He made some 450 mains last year. Go into SMX, which is a little bit of hybrid. He was a top 10 guy, kind of in that 8th to 11th range for a lot of those races. So he's clearly showed improvement. But again, they're going east now with Kitchen and McAdoo, which are both title contenders. That is not Tai. Tai just needs Supercross experience, and that comes into why actually moving him to West is a good idea. Again, now I have to say it again, not offensively. In my opinion, and many of my media colleagues, we have said this, the West Coast is not that deep this year. It is not that stacked, minus how RJ, Levi, the top end, yes, Deegan's gnarly, Joe, your top 5 is really good. Beyond that, the skill drop-off and the experience drop-off is higher than what we're going to see on East Coast. East Coast top 10 is gnarlier than West Coast top 10. So, again, bringing Tai into the West rounds, he actually has an opportunity to place higher, to race with at the top end of the field, to be up there, to build that confidence, to build that racing in the front experience in the 250 Supercross class. So that actually is not detrimental to his career. That is helpful. So the team has made, in my opinion, a positive decision for Tai. Yes, he doesn't get to do the full title run. Again, it's not going to make a difference in the sense of he was not going to be a title contender or a podium season contender on East. Top 5 in points? Maybe. And he has plenty of opportunities still on West. He's only missed 1 race. West had some up and downs with guys in the first race. He'll be fine. It's good, again, for Tai to go over there and do that. So, again, those are the reasons why Tai helps the team by taking less riders off East, moves them to West, gets some better representation, probably puts Tai in a better racing situation. These are all positives. Again, Tai is prepared to go racing. Easy decision. So now let's move on to the second part. Why not Drew Adams? this is also very simple to figure out. The team has always stated that he's a fill-in rider. Levi switched coasts. He did not get hurt. Per Drew's own Instagram post, he even said, "Hey, Levi, can I borrow your bike and your mechanic?" Because that's the situation the PC team's in right now. For Drew to go racing, he would need one of the other riders' race mechanics, and he would need their race bike, and I'll get into more in a second. So, yeah, you could do it for the first 3 rounds, but then that bike has to go east for Levi, and you could use the excuse, well, what if they use the same race bike? Well, that won't work at East-West shootouts. And even in the short term, you're just putting more time on Levi's engine rotation, on his chassis, a bunch of things. It's taking off his prep by having his mechanic trying to pull dual row because their guys build their practice components to send out too, even though Ty and Levi both train externally. It just doesn't work. The other situation is materials. The KX250 is basically all new this year. It came in a bit late, and I know the PC team got late, and a lot of the engine components changed and suspension components, stuff that takes lead time to get, and they just don't have enough operating materials to run a 6 full-time guy. They don't have the mechanics. They don't have the staff to support it in that way. They don't have the materials at the moment. So they would be doing both Levi, everybody on the team, and Drew a disservice at that point by being unprepared. So again, that's why. The other thing is I did Innocence knock Ty for probably performance reasons, but Ty is still also more experienced than Drew. If something happens to Garrett, it would be rough. If the rookie Drew is the only person left on West Coast, there's a little bit better reason to have Tai Masterpool there. So again, I hate to say it, there's these reasons that are very obvious, like, okay, this is why it's not Drew Adams. Drew still could race this year, but again, it's what Pro Circuit originally said would happen. It's going to be if somebody falls down, if somebody gets hurt. He is a fill-in rider, and they need that mechanic and that equipment from that rider to appease, their needs to basically help Drew. So again, at the moment, that's why we're seeing what we are seeing. Hope that makes sense. Love to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. If you disagree, tell me. If you have a theory on how it should work, let's hear it. Everybody's a team manager in the comments section, right? But again, from a logical standpoint, that is a lot of what's gone into this decision. As always, thanks for watching here on Vital MX. If you like this content, hit subscribe and like, and thanks for watching.